Welcome to our deep dive into Seth Godin's phenomenal book, This is Marketing. If you're tired of shouting into the void and sick of relying on outdated, spammy industrial habits just to get your work seen, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're completely tearing down the old way of doing things and exploring a brand new approach to sharing your work with the world. Get ready to shift your entire perspective. All right, let's just dive right into it. Here is our roadmap for today. First, escaping the commodity trap. Second, connecting and leading tribes. Third, the 5-part business plan. Then, beating perfectionism. And finally, the marketer's ethical responsibility. Section 1, escaping the commodity trap. Because let's face it, quality alone just isn't enough anymore. It's super frustrating, isn't it? You put out this really high-quality work and it just gets completely ignored in today's insanely noisy world. Godin actually nails this with a great analogy. Like the fish who doesn't understand water, we fail to see what's actually happening and don't notice how it's changing us. See, traditional marketing is basically water to us now. We are so used to the spam, the constant interruptions, and the manipulation that we just take it all for granted. And this blindness completely hides the fact that we desperately need a new approach. We get stuck thinking that just making a good product and shouting its features to everyone is enough, but the world has moved on. Clinging to that old approach leads straight into what Godin calls the commodity suckout. Think about it this way. If your work can be easily found and swapped out on places like Upwork, Amazon, or Alibaba, you've got a massive problem. Why? Because those platforms force a race to the bottom. If you're just competing on basic specs and price, you literally become an invisible, replaceable commodity. It's a painful, exhausting trap. Sure, quality gets you on the field, but it absolutely will not win the game for you anymore. Section 2, connecting and leading tribes. This is where we shift our focus from mass products to specific people. So this is where we pivot from trying to sell to everyone to serving a specific group. But what exactly is a tribe? Well, it's a group of people who share interests, goals, and a common language. And the psychology here is fascinating. Your potential tribe members out there, they're lonely, they feel disconnected, they're terrified of being ignored, and most importantly, they are waiting for an agent of change to step up and connect them. Your job isn't just to sell them stuff, it's to lead them toward that shared goal they're craving. But being that agent of change takes way more than clever marketing tactics. A true leader hunkers down and completely commits to their tribe. You can't be a fly-by-night operator who just cashes in on a trend and disappears to find the next target. Real marketing is a long-term promise. It's about showing up consistently, even when it gets tough. Because when you show real, sustained commitment to a group of people, something magical happens. They start to commit back to you. They trust you, because they know you're not just there for a quick transaction. You're there for their transformation. And this brings us to an absolutely essential mindset shift. Godin says the answer to almost every question about your work is really just one fundamental question. Who can you help? That right there is your North Star as a modern marketer. If you want to build a movement, you have to stop asking, how can I sell more to everyone? And start asking, specifically, who can I help tomorrow morning? Imagine applying that to your very next project. Instead of bragging about your product's features, you start talking about how you can solve a specific problem for people who deeply care about the solution. Section 3, the 5-part business plan. A modern document for truth-telling. Look, we all know traditional business plans are boring, compliance-driven, and honestly, usually just designed to hide the truth behind overly optimistic projections. If you're serious about your project, you've got to ditch that outdated, confusing format. Godin offers a much more powerful alternative. Truth, assertions, alternatives, people, and money. Let's break these down to see how this framework keeps you honest and actually saves your business from delusion. Step 1 is truth. The world exactly as it is right now. You need to detail real market needs, your actual competitors, and show some visceral ground knowledge. And here's the hardest part for marketers. It cannot be partisan. No pitching allowed. We love to exaggerate and brag about why we're the absolute best. But in the truth section, you just state the current market reality. No subjective claims whatsoever. Just hard, undeniable facts. After truth, you've got assertions, your best guess on how you'll change things, and alternatives, what you'll do if you're wrong. But then we hit the really vital stuff, people and money. People isn't just throwing resumes at an investor. It's exactly who is on your team, how they handle failure, and crucially, what their actual track record of shipping work is. And money? That cuts through all the fluff. How much cash do you need? What are your margins? What's the cash flow? And what's the exit strategy? It's lean, it's focused, and it leaves zero room for self-deception. Section 4, beating perfectionism, shipping work that is good enough. Because having a brilliant 5-part plan means absolutely nothing if you don't execute it. The problem is, we get stuck in our own heads. We constantly battle between perfect and better. Perfect is basically a locked door. It forbids us from trying, because if we aim for perfect and miss, our ego takes a massive hit. It paralyzes us, so we never actually ship anything. Better, on the other hand, opens that door. It invites us in and challenges us to make meaningful improvements for the people we serve. Better is an ongoing evolution, not some rigid finish line. It takes a ton of guts to break through that perfectionist paralysis. Godin talks a lot about the magic of good enough. Now, let's be super clear here. Good enough is never a shortcut or an excuse for sloppy work. Not at all. It means you've met your promise to the tribe, and now it is time to share it. That is the only path to real engagement. You have to put your work out into the real world to see how your tribe reacts, learn from their feedback, and level up. Waiting for perfect? That's really just a clever way to hide from criticism. Section 5. The marketer's ethical responsibility. Because with power comes accountability. Now that we have the tools to connect and lead, we really need to talk about the deep ethical mandate that comes with it. As Godin puts it, just because you can market something doesn't mean you should. You've got the power, so you're responsible. This is absolutely crucial. Once you know how to truly see your audience, speak their language, and lead a movement, you suddenly have a massive amount of influence. And having that power means you have a moral obligation to use it to serve, uplift, and improve things for the people you lead. It can never be used to manipulate or exploit them. Sometimes it feels like the spammers and the manipulators are winning, doesn't it? But who actually wins the long game? Godin assures us ethical, public marketing will eventually defeat the kind that operates in the shadows. Doing things the right way, out in the open, and genuinely helping your tribe builds a rock-solid foundation of trust. And trust, that's the one true asset no shady marketing tactic can ever replicate or steal. Ethical marketing isn't just the right thing to do, it is literally the only sustainable strategy. Which brings us to our final thought today. A direct, provocative challenge you have to answer for yourself. What will you build now? Where you find the strength to bring your better to the world? It is time to silence that self-doubt in your head. Stop waiting for a perfection that's never going to arrive and start taking meaningful action. Your tribe is out there right now. They're waiting, hoping someone just like you will step up and lead them. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously can't wait to see what incredible movement you build next.